is Paul. This is my sister. If this is your first time watching these videos, what have you been doing? You need to go tell your family and friends about this thing, and you need to watch all the other videos, and you need to like and subscribe.
Today we're talking to my brother.
We are?
I'm hoping that this will be a regular thing, that you will come back regularly to tell us some of the things that you're thinking, because he has done some very interesting things in his life. He has worked on things that other people would shy away from, and I'm so eager to speak to him because he is inspirational.
Oh, wow.
Yes, you are. So I'm going to be asking Paul some questions, just like I did with Jackie. What would you like us to call you?
My family calls me Paul. My friends at university started calling me Paulo, and it stuck. And when I moved to Canada, the first person that I made friends with, I was like, my name is Paul, but all my friends call me Paulo. And she was like, oh, Paulo. And so it stuck. So everybody in Canada calls me Paulo or Paulo, those who can inflect the accent like that. And my family calls me Paul.
What are you passionate about?
I'm passionate about many things. I like music. I like a really good conversation. There's nothing that I love more than a really good conversation. I will pretty much get sucked down a rabbit hole. If there's like a really good conversation, I'll end up abandoning everything else that I'm doing. If it's something that I'm fascinated about, if you want to talk about sports or whatever, I'm not interested in that. But I'm really passionate about meeting people, chatting with people. I like seeing people's stories change. I like getting into their lives and helping them figure out something that will unlock a piece of their future for them. I love stuff like that. I think it comes from our upbringing. I know you talked on this channel about our dad, and our dad kind of spent his life helping people improve their lives, and he passed that passion on to us. He passed that humanitarianism on to us, and so it's a passion that I carry for myself. I love trivial things, like I love cars. I'm really passionate about cars. I'm passionate about tennis.
Yes. He will stay up all night if Serena Williams is playing somewhere.
I'm not about one thing. I love so many different things. So yeah. It's a hard question to answer. Yeah.
Why do you think that we don't have some of these difficult conversations in public spaces? Why do you think we keep those hard conversations to ourselves?
I had a conversation with a mutual friend of ours. She illuminated something for me that I'd never really thought about. She said it's about ego. We all want to be liked. If you have a difficult conversation, or if you're the kind of person that has difficult conversations, you're not always universally liked and accepted. It's like, oh, here comes Paulo again, and he's going to talk about that really difficult thing that no one wants to talk about. I remember a couple of years ago, we were sitting in a meeting. It was a mostly Caucasian space, and I was like the only black voice at the table. And so we were going down a path, and I was like, no, guys, we need to come back. And we need to talk about this in a way that is more inclusive. And I could literally see their eyes glazing over like, oh God, here we go again. Here goes Paulo again, talking about race again. They want to be liked more than they want to make a difference. I think that that's the reason why we don't have those conversations in public. I dare say we don't even have them in private. I think that that's a gift that we were given by dad and mom. Everyone who knows our parents, especially who knows our mom, people were scared of mom, not because she's a bad person. She's a bleeding heart. You come to her with a sob story and she'll open her purse and hand you all the money that she has and stay broke. Like, that's how she is. But because she was a truth teller, people were scared of her. People were like, your mom is so mean, your mom is so scary. It's like, no, she just tells the truth. I used to tell my friends when they'd come to visit, I'd be like, the first 10 minutes of your time with my mom is going to be like walking through the fire. Don't be evasive.
No.
Don't hide anything.
No.
Get through the first 10 minutes and you'll be good.
Yeah. Be honest and smile. Be a good kid that your parents taught you how to be. And answer the damn questions.
Don't be phony.
No.
Because we grew up in a house where we told the truth, where we had big arguments, where dinners would take hours because we were debating something. I think that it makes us less fearful of those conversations in a way that I don't think a lot of people necessarily know how to be or how to navigate something.
How do you encourage people to have those conversations with you?
If I don't have the kind of relationship with someone where I can walk them through it, but it needs to be said, but the truth needs to be said, I just say it and let the chips fall where they lie. If I have a relationship with someone, I try to help them understand that it's not that scary. That actually when you're walking in the light of truth, when you're walking in honesty, that is actually a better place to be. It is a safer space to be.
I find that conversations are difficult to have with people when I don't know who they are. You have to have a really personal relationship with me for me to even broach subjects that are difficult. Who wants to be avoided?
But what about moments when someone needs to be speaking truth and you realize your number is being called?
I don't know whether I've told this story before on this channel. Maybe I will sometime. But there was a woman who was being beaten in her car. Your instinct is to go in and get the woman out of the car, out of the situation. So my instinct at that point is then to call the police, who don't always believe you, as we found out in that case. The problem is we have to self-edit so much over here. Whereas if it's back home, then it's something completely different. Take the person out of the situation and deal with it.
Yes, and because we're not dealing with a minority status. I used to work at a church here in town. My first staff meeting, I walked in and I was like, I'm not going to say a word. I'm new here. I'll just be quiet. And then they started talking about having a corn boil. They were going to have a church get together at a park where there would be boiling corn.
Yes.
Among other things. It would be like a church picnic.
Okay.
But instead of calling it a church picnic or a barbecue or something, they called it a corn boil. And so the whole time I'm sitting there, I'm running the numbers in my head. I'm like, I'm new here, but I'm willing to bet that most of the brown people
don't know what corn boil is.
Do not know what a corn boil is, and so they do not show up for it.
And it doesn't even sound interesting.
No.
You're just boiling corn?
Exactly. What I decided to do in that meeting was to speak up and go, I think you should change the name, because I think that this name is exclusionary to a whole swath of people. But I've always wondered, because I've always thought back, I think that my opening my mouth in that moment kind of set the tone for my tenure, for my 7 years there. And I've often wondered, should I have spoken? What would you have done?
To wait until the meeting is done. I don't know what a corn boil is. What if it's some, like, I don't know, like, because how many times have someone said something, please don't take any offense to this.
Yeah.
But so they say something and it's like, oh, that's a white person thing.
Yeah.
That obviously does not
hold any interest for me.
Yeah,
yes.
so I would have first gone, what is a corn boil?
Yeah.
And can we call it something else?
But you would have done it after the meeting.
After the meeting.
Okay.
It behooves us all to speak these things when we encounter, at the moment that we encounter them, with the feelings that we encounter. Because how many people then do you reach with that comment, as opposed to going back to the original guy and saying, corn boil doesn't work. And it could mean other things. I mean, people get corns on their toes. Boiling off our corn.
It could be a healing service for corns on toes.